Hey everyone, it's Connor back from This Old Farm and report.
Good morning.
Car horn. Well, this morning we're trying to decide whether we're going to grade out the driveway or not.
You asking for an answer?
Kind of.
I haven't decided yet.
I'm not even pointing the camera at us.
Still need a Mountain Dew.
You already had one.
I only had a sip. I
Oh,
haven't finished it yet.
And I don't know where I was going with the Anda. Boat is over here. We're gonna work on that today, along with the Super MTA diesel. We got over here. We got turtle wax for it. So we got one of the fuel filters, and the other one's down underneath there. I don't think anything else is planned as of right now.
Okay.
We'll bring you back. Every time that Super C sees Rick coming, the front wheel bearings just screech because they know what's coming. If you remember Fall Plow Day, you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyways, while Rick is doing that, we're in the pole barn with the diesel. And we're going to drop the oil, we're going to drop the coolant, we're going to kind of drop the engine oil, the diesel fuel, and we're going to change out these filters. We're going to change out the fluid there. We're going to change out the fluid up there. We're going to change the filter on the other side for the oil. And I think that's it. I think that's all. We'll maybe pop off the cup on the oil cleaner and see what that looks like. Other than that, I can't think of anything else that needs to be looked at. So hopefully that fixes some of our problems. That kind of concerns me a little bit, so we're probably gonna pop that off. Yeah. We'll talk to you guys in a minute, or when we get ready here. So as you can tell, we took the water separator off of the filter assembly there, whatever you want to call it. Dumped out the diesel fuel, and that's what's inside of it. Straight mud. Look at that. That is disgusting. So we're gonna dump that out. I'm gonna wash my hands after that and dump that out, spray it out with pretty clean, and then like I say, wash my hands, and then we're gonna put together after we spray that off, because I'm sure that's filthy. And then we'll pull them filters. I can't imagine what them things look like if that's what's in that. No wonder our fuel oil pressure was reading change filter. Alright, so since that's what was in the water separator, we're gonna pull the filters now, and I'm gonna record that because I'm a little bit nervous. Like I say, if that's what was in the water filters or in the water separator, I don't even know if I want to know what's inside of here. Wow, obviously have been changed out recently. Let's go ahead and Pull that out, I guess. I'll set that on a clean paper towel over here on the operator's platform. Okay. There we go. I had a feeling that was going to be the case. Where am I going to set this? I guess we'll set her over here for now. You guys see that on there? IH logos. That means them filters probably have not been changed out in 40 years. International Harvester went bust in 1985. Wow. That's all I have to say is wow. They're pretty black. No wonder she was unhappy. I'm gonna get place for this to set, and then we'll work on number 2 there. All right, let's give this another shot here. There she goes. Oh my God. What did I do with the other cam? There it is. There's not enough working space. Oh my God. That is I have no words. It explains a lot. Wow. Well, I gotta show this to Rick. everything has gone right today. I don't know what that thing's problem is up in there. And tried putting spark plug wires on the 756. Those are them do-it-yourselfer wires. I hate them things. I hate those stupid do-it-yourself, because I can never get the stupid crimp ends to stay on the wires. So that's got no spark. I don't know why it has no spark. We never touched anything to do with spark or with the gas side. So I'm not quite, we're gonna have to move that in a minute for Rick. So I'm not quite sure why it doesn't have spark. But I had to do something that at least I knew I could do, and I knew I could tractor drive, so yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Anyways, I gotta go change out a battery. You guys are at 12%, and I guess we'll come back eventually. Does somebody want to tell me how a tractor magically gets its spark back? Because I don't know what I did. I went to check spark, it's got spark. It tried to fire up, so I went to start. I put the wire I took for testing, hooked it back up, and it fucking started right up. I don't know what I did, but we're running on diesel now. Criminy. I guess Rick's moving stuff to get it out. Oh, the joys of old tractors. Mysterious. Hey everyone, it's Connor back from This Old Farm, and today we got the TA diesel hooked up to the hay tedder, and we're gonna head out to Ted Hay. Ha! Just kidding. So obviously we got the diesel, and we're moving equipment around right now. Right now we got the tedder hooked up, of course. Hay right behind me is getting moved. Hay bind is already moved. We can do the Squatch 253 style. Get around the corner here. That we moved with the M when I had a fit of rage and had to do some tractor duty. We got the Gale 7200 green chopper, flail mower, whatever the heck you want to call it. That's moved. Hay bind moved, of course, we already touched on. We have our line set up for plowing, which is in 2 weeks, I think, Memorial Day weekend. So if you're not busy Memorial Day weekend and you're near the area of Ascove, Minnesota, you can come plow it, spring plow day. We're gonna plow up this and maybe some more or whatever. But so we have our orange line of where the dead furrow is gonna be, so that we kind of have a, you know, this is all going to get plowed up. Everything from this orange line over to that tree line there. This is getting plowed because of, for garden area reasons, this fence line's getting pulled up, all this tin's getting moved, and that's why we're moving all of this equipment here, because it needs to get out of the way. We're putting it over there because that's going to be future, kind of the planned area, so to speak, for equipment storage and what have you. Eventually here, probably today or sometime this week or something, these chairs are going to get piled up, and well, we're not going to touch on what happens after that. That wagon's probably going to get moved. I didn't know where to put it, so I put it there. Eventually that's going to get moved. I think some of that stuff's going to get moved, possibly not the Mac, but the parts baler. Well, it's not really a parts unit, it's just a junk unit, because we don't have another baler for part to use those parts on. Anyways, that, and then there's something else to do with the slasher there. That's what that Mac is a slasher, for those of you that don't know. There's a unit with a saw blade on it that's part of that deal there that needs to get moved. Eventually this disc is going to get moved, and I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is where hay bales are going to go, but I'm not too sure. Of course, that's the cattle barn. Eventually here, sometime this summer, that's gonna get put together and be ready for next winter. We got the cattle out on pasture. We went through and did some fencing yesterday and moved it, because originally it ran over to that fence post and then down to that corner. So we moved it over, and then we also pulled that back line up out of the swamp a little bit, because it was hanging back a little bit lower. So we got that all taken care of and got the cattle out last night. Eventually this little triangle piece that we removed them from, or that we, you know, are preventing them from going on, eventually this is going to be a pig pasture, and they can go out in the swamp and stuff. And that's what's there's gonna be a lean-to off of the back of the pole barn, that the pig, half of it'll be pig area, the other half of it will be a feed storage area, kind of sort of thing, so that eventually when we get a grinder mixer, we'll probably have bunks or whatever Rick decides to do to unload the grinder mixer into, to have feed for the pigs and for the chickens, because that's why we have that's essentially why we got the corn picker. There's the new idea one out in the pasture, and then I've got one that I stuffed that a friend went and purchased it for me, so I have to just kind of same deal with the diesel. I gotta go purchase it from the friend. It's an international corn picker. So that's essentially what the idea is behind them, is we're gonna, whatever's good corn is gonna get put into, you know, picked and ground into corn and then put in the feed storage. Whatever is kind of not so good corn, that's gonna get chopped up into silage and, you know, fed to the cattle. So we are gonna keep working on moving equipment here. I'll use the camera a little bit so that you guys can get to enjoy the sights and sounds of the M Diesel a little bit more. And that's kind of where we're at. I'm just glad we finally got the thing going. I don't know what, I let it sit for a little while. I pulled I pulled the coil from the 400 the gas 400, put it on this thing. I put the rotor and cap onto this one. I put the spark plug wires onto this one. I didn't change spark plugs because it's a different spark plug from the 400 from the 400 gas to the diesels, the gas dirt diesels. I still couldn't get it to spark, so I said, screw it. I went and did other stuff for a little while, came back to it and went to check spark, and it was trying to fire itself up. So I pulled the number one spark plug wire off to check spark. So I popped it back on, and it fired right up. I don't know what I did, but it's running now, so we're happy. A couple leaks, a few around the oil filter leaks. Napa doesn't provide O-rings for their filters anymore. What they provide is a freaking gasket that you also have to buy separately. It's dumb. So I left the old O-ring on there while it was leaking. We got that fixed, but the same problem is on the fuel filters. They're leaking as well because Napa doesn't provide O-rings. So it is what it is. But she runs a lot better. Our issue with the fuel pressure, that's fixed. It looks like it's been running there the whole time. So it definitely was them cruddy filters. That was just absolutely disgusting. So, and probably that having dirt in there, I'm sure that didn't help any either. So at least we're doing a little bit better. We'll probably have to get some fresh diesel put in it here not too far long. I still got the problem where the PTO is spinning. I haven't tried to shut it off, but I'm kind of... Yeah, it tries to work the tractor. I don't know. It puts a little bit of a load onto it. I think the brake is kicking on too soon, or it's not releasing fully or something. I'm not sure, but I'm just going to let it keep spinning there because it's not harming anything. So... Alright, let's move a hay tedder and a rake and a baler and, you know, whatever else. Well, guys, that's gonna be the end of another day. We got the diesel parked up in the shed there. Maybe you can kind of see it there in the background. Got that parked in there along the side. We did quite a bit off camera this evening. Kind of the first most major of which, the 2404. We changed some tires around and put, these are turf tires that were originally on Rick's Kubota 6040. They used them as turf tires. The former owners used it for mowing. They had a 3-wing mower or something like that. Rick did a video on doing this kind of, he did a walk around explanation after we got them on. But so we put them on there just to make it roller, being that that one is so screwed up. So that's kind of nice. Secondly, the Ford 8N or 9N or whatever the heck, the N series Ford that has been sitting back over there for forever, kind of about where the loader that was on it. We took the loader off of it, pulled it out, took the loader off, made it look like a nice decent tractor. We threw the fenders back on, and now the loader sits back there again. So she's still free, still the engine is still loose. Eventually we'll pull the pump off. That was for the loader, and find a front grill and cowl and stuff like that. We need a foot plate over here, and somebody at some point in time broke the brake pedal off, but that is what it is. Parts are so readily available for these things, it's not even funny. So we did that. We also took, there was a transfer tank that sat somewhere in there, kind of where that dark spot is, or maybe it was more over here somewhere. Took and pulled that and put that in the White Whale, Rick's white F250, so that we can put gas in that and fill up 756 and, you know, all our gas stuff, gas running tractors. I went through, and my 3-bottom plow here, last fall plow day, this rod here that goes back and I think has something to do with lifting the tail wheel had busted. So I took that off and welded that up, got that fixed. I still have to fix this, I don't know what that piece is called, but you can see that it's not sitting in the plow correctly, you know, like them ones are. So I still have to go through and do that, fix that. What else have we done this evening? Got the input over there. The Cub Lobo is pulled out. Eventually here I have to go through and pull off would be the left-hand spindle as you're sitting on it, and get that up to Mr. Squatch 253 and have him fix that up for me, so that we can put the mower deck on it. Have to flip the wheels so they're dished in rather than dished out, so that it doesn't interfere with the mower deck. With them dished out the way they are, it interferes with the mower deck and can't turn and stuff. It's a mess. Argo still has to go back into the shed. We have to turn that around and push it in so that the transmission can get pulled out of it. Other than for that, not really too much has happened. That kind of burnt up the rest of the evening. What do you want?
Got dinner.
Wonderful. We did bring the trailer over and pulled the wheels off of that. And
I didn't do
well, it was kind of a joint effort.
No, it wasn't. I told you to put the trailer over there and take the wheels off.
Yeah, but you kind of did that too, and you inspected it, so.
Well, I kicked it and looked at it, and then I ordered parts.
Okay. So we got the trailer pulled over here, pulled the wheels off of it, and determined what we need to fix it up as far as suspension components, and figuring out why my truck doesn't like to run the trailer brakes on this thing. We found a cut wire down there, so that's probably part of the problem. We got this economy going this weekend. Got that out. Rick was out tilling up the garden over here. I don't know if he did any video on that or not, but a neat little tractor. There's a little tiller on it. But yeah, he tilled up the garden there with it. Of course, we got the equipment moved. We'll come down here and show you guys that. Probably, well, might not be next weekend, but the weekend after, the final weekend we have before plow day happens, we'll have to go through and move the rest of this. This is all stuff that's gonna have to get. That one's got a ball. That John Deere flail mower's got a ball hitch on it, and most of this stuff has to get moved with tractor excavator, including that stuff over there, because it's all either it's not drawbar pole. That'll have to get moved with the excavator. But we'll come down here. Sorry for all the sniffling, guys. Evidently I've got a cold, or I'm getting one. Little buggers out. Stupid calves, yearlings, whatever it is. There's our nice little lineup of implements, I guess, the ones that we can move so far. There's a gap between the rake and the baler there because there's a little pathway for the excavator to go down, so I figured I would leave that open for that. But yeah, anyways, we'll leave you guys off here. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we didn't make too much video. If we did, we split it up then or whatever. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the little tractor ride and moving stuff around and all that. And we'll talk to you all next time, as always.